This is for race drivers who their potential is up here, sky high, but what they're showing is a bit lower. If you're underperforming, under-delivering, this video is for you. Hello race drivers, it's Enzo with the Race Driver Coach Show, talking about a topic that is really common. It's something I speak to about, should I say, to drivers all the time, every single day. It's when you've got the potential to do something, you know how talented and skilled you are, yet your results don't reflect it. It's kind of like, I could have, I should have, but I didn't. And if I could do it again, I would. It seems like the ongoing thing, right? When I'm speaking to drivers after a race weekend, we go through the things that if we could do it again, what would we do different? And it's usually a very similar list, to be fair. It's things like, I overpushed in qualifying. I underdrove in qualifying, the complete opposite. I didn't piece my sectors together. I made a mistake. That's a great one. It's kind of so broad, but we all say it, right? I made a mistake. At the end of the day, they didn't deliver. And if you continue, I want you to actually toe the line right now in this video and say, you know what, I'm not going to let this happen anymore, or I'm going to let it happen a lot less. I'm going to hold myself accountable for not delivering on what I can actually deliver. Because if you don't, I think you know how this plays out. You see how close the grids are now out there. You get like the top 20 covered in a second. I think we did Silverstone, British F4, Silverstone not too long ago, not this weekend at the F1, but before that. And I think the top 10 were covered by 0.2 of a second. 0.2 of a second, just so you know. I did a reaction app where you wait for the lights to go off and you take your finger off and it measures your reaction time. That was 0.2 for me, and that's like a blink of an eye, not even that. After you've done a whole lap around a Grand Prix track, you're only a blink of an eye off in your 10th. This is how close it is now. And this is why it's so important that you deliver on what you can do. For multiple reasons. I'll give you two today. The first one is you're not going to make it as a pro if you've got potential, but you don't show that potential often enough, consistently. It's over. They want to plug you in. People that want to pay for your racing want to plug you into that car and depend on you bringing that car home, but bringing it home to its capability and yours every single time you go out. If not, you're in trouble. If you do it twice, you're in trouble. If you do it once, you're not so much. So you must make this a must. And the second thing, which is really important, you can't work on yourself. It's impossible. You can't work on yourself properly until you've given a good account for yourself, until you've turned up to the track, driven and said, right, that's where I'm at right now. No mistakes, which is kind of like where you're at, but anyway, no mistakes, that's me. Then you can start to work on the driving. Then the engineer can start to talk about the car and see what's going on if you've driven correctly, because your potential is to drive correct, so you got to. So there's loads of reasons. In other words, you're not going to be able to get a career in this sport if you don't. Simple as. So I want you first to make it very, very important and your number one goal to deliver on your level no matter what it is. If that is P20, fine, come in P20 if that's where you're at, because then we can get to work and start to make you quicker or help you get quicker, you or the car. Until then, it's just going to be up and down, excuses, I got traffic in qualifying, made mistakes, blah, 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 whatever. No one's listening. Especially, it's crying wolf, right? It's time you delivered. If you want to take this into your real life, again, just use these skills or tools or advice that I'm telling you right now to use in your normal life. You say, right, I have got potential to go to the gym. I have got potential to go and sell myself, but I'm not. Jump on yourself right now and do it. When it comes to race drivers, however, not only have we got to make it important, we've got to make sure that you are performing consistent at your best and you have a plan in place that helps you do that. So, making it simple. When you go to the track or just before you go into the track, I want you to have the goal or a goal that's going to make it easier for you. Because your goals and your expectations of what you want from that race weekend, that is the defining setup for the game, whether you win or lose. And it can give you a mindset that's either going to help you or hold you back. So if you go in there, right, with a loose goal of, I want to win, I want to be the best. I want to be seen as the best. And you go there with that aggressive style, right? You haven't prepared much. And you're kind of like, right, I just want to go in there and drive the guts out of this car and get the most out of it. Then you go out, you do the best you can do in your head, and you come back and you're a second off, nowhere near the front. Then you start to stress. Then you go out again, panicking, driving even worse, making even more errors. Even if it's not a second, it's 3/10. If this is happening, you're handicapping yourself all the time. Whereas if you went to a race weekend or a test or a shootout, whatever it is, and you said, all I'm going to do is I'm going to go there and I'm going to drive my best. I'm going to make sure that I am my best version. How can I do that? Then you spend the week up to that race weekend answering that question. I'm going to prepare well. I'm going to find out everything I can. I'm going to speak to the team. I'm going to make sure those jobs are done on the car. I'm going to give myself any kind of knowledge and advantage that I can. So when I turn up, I'm ready to go. Then when you're there, you make sure your mindset is focused again on the right goals and the right expectations from yourself. I'm going to go out. I'm going to warm the tires up like this. You got a very specific, rigid, you can change it while you're out there if the conditions are different, but a plan of what you're going to do to get the tires in. Then lap 3, that's when I start to push. By then, I know my brake references because I've practiced them a little bit on the warm-up laps. I've reminded myself of where I've got to be on the track, and now I execute. Nice and calm, one corner at a time. Then on the cool-down laps, take stock, have a think about what the car's doing, translate that or communicate that to the engineer. Come in, maybe you do it over the radio, or you come in and do that. Go back out, make the changes to your driving and the car, and you keep working. You pop up now and then, pop your head up now and then, just say, right, where are we on the grid, by the way? Where is it? You're P7. Okay, fine, whatever. And then you get back to work and keep working on you. If the focus is on you doing things correctly, driving clean, and you have them sort of goals, technique is absolutely perfect. I'm trying not to over peak on the high speed corners. This is what I want to do. I want to gently touch the brake and try and keep the speed in the car. If your head is thinking this as you're going towards the corner and incrementally you're doing it better and better each lap, you're going to be pretty near your best. On the other side of that, if you're thinking, I want to be fast, I'm worried I'm not fast. What if I'm not? I'm not fast and I've got to really make up the time. You start to rush things. All of a sudden, you're going in later to that high speed, peaking the brake even more, hitting it even harder, scrubbing all the speed off. It's a mess. Your head's all over the place. Then you go into the hairpin, you're braking way too late. These are signs that you're not listening to the car, you're not present, you're thinking of other stuff, and you've got external pressures that are throwing your mind off. You can't do that when you're thinking about how to drive a car at 150 miles an hour, at 260 kilometers an hour. You've got things to think about. You've got to be in the now. You've got to be putting out these small fires. You've got to be giving the car what it wants in that particular corner. That takes a lot of concentration. And that's where all of your concentration should be. Not the result, not the what ifs. As in, what if I crash? What if I'm not fast enough? All that stuff, that's actually using the wrong part of the brain. It's flaring up in the wrong way. You've got things to think about. And I want you to think about that. Do you find yourself driving in a way that's just, is not even going to work? For example, you come into a corner, the exit is really important, but you can't seem to fight the demon on the approach to that corner, and you end up talking yourself into just breaking that little bit deeper again, and you got a crap exit just because you couldn't fight the demon on the entry. It's like, dude, it's obvious. 100-meter braking, right? Okay, you're fast there, brilliant. But then the 500 meters after, you're slow. Who's going to win? The driver that brakes at the correct point, gets the car rotated, gets back to the throttle early. It's less stress to do that than someone who's trying to get a result, throwing the car in late, getting all crossed up, heating the tires up, heating their brain up, heating their body up. No reason whatsoever. So again, this all comes back to how you're approaching a lap, approaching your race weekend. So the big takeaway is be careful of the goal that you've got and the expectation, because that sets up everything else. You can say, I want to be the best, but make sure you don't stay on that goal very long. You want to be the fastest in PP1, bring it back to, okay, what do I need to do? And engross yourself in that. And only look up now and then to the results, because that's whatever. I'm too busy working on my craft. And if I do that right, I'm going to like the result.